Anton Hart, who was here last year with Barton and the Relational School, says that we must prepare ourselves for, even seek, imagine seeking, for some of us who have not sought these conversations, to seek difficult, threatening, unsettling, awkward and shame-inducing conversations when everything in your physiology tells you to turn away. We have to tone up our muscles to do that. I think a good place to start for that is by doing a repeating question. And puppets are very handy for that, and I recommend them for your practice too. So we've got to do puppets and microphone.
Yeah. We're fighting over the mic, me and, yeah. Can you see? Should I stand up? You can see? Stand up, yeah.
Yeah, they stand up. It's like punching.
Okay. So, Robert, tell me a reason you don't want to talk about whiteness.
It's excruciating. It's excruciating.
It's excruciating. Thank you. Tell me another reason why you don't want to talk about whiteness.
I don't want to hurt you.
Thank you. Tell me another reason why you don't want to talk about whiteness.
The silence is interesting. Don't know how to.
Thank you.
Foluke, tell me a reason you don't want to talk about racism with me, with white people.
I don't want to see your awkwardness. It's really uncomfortable. I feel like I have to save you. I don't want to be hanging out with that.
Foluke, tell me why you don't want to talk about racism with white people.
I am afraid we just keep having the same conversations. I kind of want to move on. I feel like we're in primary school all the time, and I'm graduated already.
I think you're right.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. See how I can't come back? This is the beauty of this exercise. Tell me a reason why you don't want to talk about racism.
I don't know who you are to me. Maybe you're my colleague or my boss or even my therapist. So I kind of need you. And I don't think, if we talk about race, it's going to be the end. You're not going to be able to take it. It's all going to get mashed up. And you know what? I need a job. I need to be here to pass my course. So we're not talking about it. Thanks.
So as you can imagine, we can go on, but I think the starting point is always, I think a good place to start is why we don't want to talk about these things. And because those are more unconscious and untended to. And if we give space to them in the confines, in the hold of a repeating question where you can't come back and shut her up, we are more at risk of listening and hearing and feeling and expanding the interiority of the listener, an interiority that needs to be infused with a lot of what we've been talking about and others been talking about. How do we do the interior redesign to be receptive to these dialogues?
Anyway, enough of that.
Enough of that. It's my friend.
Yeah. I say that because it's all well and good. I understand it. You need to think about white fragility. You need to talk about that. In the meantime, my response to racism, like Audre Lorde, is anger, actually. She says, I've lived with that anger, ignoring it, feeding upon it, learning to use it before it laid my visions to waste for most of my life. Once I did it in silence, afraid of the weight. My fear of anger taught me nothing. Your fear of that anger will teach you nothing also. Now, I used to think I would, or I should, grow out of anger. In my therapy training, I got the idea, somebody mentioned this kind of yesterday to me, that anger was a bit of a primitive, immature emotion, and that my best, the more rational and cerebral I could be, the better, which was fine. But my internal world got really congested with unvoiced rage. that I couldn't properly give myself or give myself to. And it became, I think of it as an alter ego, and I call it Cuss Cuss. So she's Cece for short, Cuss Cuss. Anyway, Cece's job is just to go with me wherever I go in the background, just cussing everybody out. Here she is. And her favourite word is fuckery. Everything is fuckery to Cece.
What kind of fuckery is this?
Yeah. So this is Cece. This is one of her looks. This artist, Deborah Roberts, I don't know if you've, she's on Instagram. She's got her own website. She's fantastic. Does all these composite kind of pictures. I think it came from that Black Girl Magic moments, but just great. I kind of feel it as therapeutic. So I borrowed Deborah's work for Cece. So this is a good day, but I have bad days. Cece has bad days, and on a bad day, we've got, she has a different kind of presentation. So that's Tyler, the creator, and he's like telling his friend Sid to just shut up, get a therapist, basically. So Cece has different kind of presentations. But of course, there are rules. I wouldn't be here if I'd let that run wild, I don't think. James Baldwin tells us something about rules. He says, and of course, all the things you do to prove you're not inferior, for instance, being really rational and cerebral and talking in a very nice way, actually only really prove you are. They boomerang. Because you're playing the game according to somebody else's rules. And you can't win until you understand the rules and step out of the particular game, which is not, after all, worth playing. But I didn't know that then. And my first counselling tutor is really clear about the rules and the game. And anything delivered with any energy or affect is acting out and is not the thing. I can't be Cece, I definitely can't be Tyler. So I tell Cece, you better hold it down, you better keep a low profile here. And her response is just non-verbals, cut eye, screw face, kiss teeth. And I try to bargain, just until I qualify, please. And James, as Robert said earlier, James wasn't on my course. He wasn't tutor, he wasn't companion. Audrey wasn't there, Belle wasn't there. So I did my best. I got by. Getting by is not necessarily a good look. I can sometimes not feel very proud of that getting by. Except that the wake provides a formulation in which this getting by might be seen differently, as a necessary improvisation. That's the other word I'm going to come back to. Imagination and improvisation. Also, Sharpe's focus on care, on practicing care in the wake, and on thought as a way of caring, has been useful. It's been useful as a way of thinking and being blackness, rather than succumbing to any pressures to perform it, really, either internal pressures or external pressures. And that wasn't included in my therapeutic training. I had to work that out for myself. And with other companions. So this territory of a particular practice wasn't available. And that was 25 years ago, and I would like to think it's available now. Unfortunately, from some of my more recent conversations with people who've recently qualified or are still training, I'm not sure that territory is much more available. I mean, I'd love to be proved wrong. But my point is, anyway, that black presence needs a landscape. It needs territory. A geography, and I'll come back to geography in a while.